In every anime watcher's experience, there will come a point where they've seen all of the mainstream stuff. And now, they want something with the same quality in animation, writing, and soundtrack, but without the large following behind it. And they begin to search for shows to scratch the itch like those critically acclaimed ones do. And this is where they will turn to the recommendations. Friends, My Anime List, Reddit, you name it. Sources to find shows that aren't talked about by everyone else. And they end up watching some good stuff and some stuff that's ass that other people really seem to like for some reason. But the bigger picture here is that it's hard to find shows as good as the popular ones. And it makes sense. The best stuff should become popular because it's simply better than everything else. But occasionally something will fall through the cracks. A diamond in the rough. A hidden gem. Whatever you want to call it, it's a show that is just as good, if not better than the mainstream stuff, but doesn't get the credit it deserves. And that couldn't describe any show better than Kekkaisensen. The animation is off the charts, the characters are funny, immersive, and down to earth. It's a million brilliant ideas of storytelling, world building, and character design. Ooh, damn, he looks good, all in one. And it takes place in a New York City, swallowed by hell. So here's the skinny. 3 years ago, New York was magically covered by fog, so much so that the government could not interfere. And during this time, hell sort of blends with New York City. And now, 3 years later, the paranormal walks side by side with mankind. They're in the news, in the art, and even in the burgers. But while the paranormal can be very cool and spooky, it also invites a lot of corruption and evil. So an organization is created to combat all of the vicious criminals, terrorists, religious factions, and mafia that are searching for some supernatural seasoning. That organization is Libra. For now, all you need to know is that everyone in it is cold as hell. I'm talking prime D'Angelo Russell, Nets, ice in his vein type of cold. And unknowingly searching for this organization is a kid named Leo. He is our main character. You see, one day he's minding his own business outside Hell Salem's Lot, the new name of New York City after the incident. Just a regular stroll in the park with the fam. And then, a giant glowing many-eyed monster with an eyeball in its mouth pops out of the fabric of reality and says, "Listen up. One of you is getting supervision, the other is losing their eyesight forever." Leo is busy shitting his pants, and so his disabled sister says, "Miss me with that weak-ass deal. I don't even have legs, but you can take my eyes too, like a gangster." A few months later, in the future, Leo is talking to a waitress about his hobby in photography, and then a monkey with super speed snatches his camera and runs away. All the other paranormal people in the coffee shop say, "How do regular humans see that? Only demons can perceive something at that speed." Could these two events be correlated? Yes, obviously they are. Chasing the monkey, Leo is shot at with missiles, and then runs into this guy. His name is Zap. Consider this a little foreshadowing, but he's gonna be your favorite character. Zap says, "I've been looking for you, Johnny Landis." To which Leo responds, "How about you land this dick in your mouth, cause that's not my name." Zap says shut up, calls him a pansy, and then starts walking towards headquarters. Zap fills him in on exactly what his job is going to be, and Leo continues to follow him because it sounds like they might have some answers as to what happened between him and his sister. They reach HQ and realize this is in fact not Johnny Landis. But then Leo is all like, "Listen fellas, I need this shit. I gotta fix what happened to my sister, and you guys seem to know what to do about it." And he cries about his situation, and I actually start to feel for this guy. It's not like a dorky Deku crying for absolutely no reason. This brother is broke, confused, and going through it. And then a giant attack slices the top of their building off, and some evil guy in the radio says, "Listen, that monkey with super speed is a gate that could open hell on Earth." And those missiles that were shot at you earlier actually came from a guy who's the first half of said gateway. Then an attack helicopter shoots their roof in, so now it's time for Libra to take action. So the captain of Libra, Klaus von Reinhels, does some gangsta ass shit.
Stand back. Form 11. The enemy stand!
Frozen fudgesicles, that was tough. There is no way they could top that. This is definitely not foreshadowing, and they're definitely not going to top that. Leo and Zap now chase the guy that split in half and served as the first gateway. And remember when I said Zap is going to be your favorite character? This is part of why I say that.
Underestimate me at your own peril, you big bitch.
Right now you're probably thinking, that sounds really nice, but there's no way they can maintain that pace of animation, creativity, and storytelling. But that's just it. They manage. You see, in the 90s, a movie called Pulp Fiction came out, and everybody loved it. and they still love it. But the story of Pulp Fiction is nothing new. There are millions of movies about different groups of tough guys trying to get their hands on a briefcase. What stuck out about Pulp Fiction was not the story, but the storytelling. You see, they would transition from the past to the future, back to the present, and then back to the past again, and it wouldn't be a flashback. It all appeared to the viewer as if it was chronological, but it wasn't. It would jump all over the place, and it didn't care if you couldn't keep up. When I watched Butch shoot Vincent Vega after taking an extra long shit, I thought to myself, now that was unexpected. Not only was Vincent Vega kind of the main character, but there was no build-up to it. It just happened. It caught me off guard. And that is exactly what people loved about this movie. Honestly, it's not even that good, but it was something refreshing. And then there's anime, which is commonly criticized for its incredibly obvious lackluster storytelling. One Piece, Demon Slayer, JoJo's, all of these are repetitive, recycled storytelling ideas. To explain visually in terms of storytelling, these are a straight line. Luffy goes to New Island, rescues oppressed people from dictators, and then throws a party. Tanjiro meets a new Hashira, learns some new moves, fights an upper moon. Jojo of whatever season we're in, fights the henchman of the big bad guy until he's out of henchmen, and then he fights the big bad guy. It's all one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Straight line. Kekkaisensen is like this. Each episode is like its own Pulp Fiction. Sometimes it's a briefcase with different groups of tough guys, sometimes it's the first day on a job, and sometimes it's a monster truck rampaging through the city. They jam-pack so many different scenes into each episode. For example, sometimes in One Piece you'll have part of the episode be these explanation segments, where it's just so-and-so is right here, this guy is fighting this guy, and this guy is injured and out of the battle. They're helpful to put into perspective what exactly is happening and where, considering how much shit is going on in the average One Piece season. But when I watch it, I think to myself, I don't give a bottle cap's worth of butt crust because of how slow this show is. And even if it was fast, I still wouldn't need it because I already watched all that shit happen. Kekkaisensen says, fuck all the useless narrations, all the recaps, anything linear, just let loose. And they couldn't have chosen a better setting for that kind of unpredictability because Hell Salem's Lot is worse than Baltimore, Detroit, and Chicago put together. I think I'd rather live in Gotham, the Demon Slayer universe, hell, even Berserk. That's how much of a shithole this city is. Out of nowhere, there will be giant monsters raining from the skies, going to town on the civilians of this city. No explanation. At the end of every episode, the city is just blown to shit. They got vampires, ghouls, gangsters, supervillains, any kind of horrible monster you could think of is living in this city. But that also adds a sort of swag to it. A swag unlike any other show I've ever seen. One episode, Leo, Zap, and Abe Sapien are looking for a place to eat, and they tour the craziest restaurants you can think of. At this restaurant, the food eats you. This is a cockroach chef, and some fresh monster dick. While the city is indeed a massive pile of steaming cow shit, it is also overflowing with creativity. There is a train that goes to the underworld, the cops use giant futuristic robot armor, and everyone just acts like it's normal, because that's just how life is there. It's natural in the most strange way, and just like Pulp Fiction, in the endless pile of briefcase tough guy movies, this anime stands out amongst all the repetitive battle shonen because it's refreshing. They don't even explain how the power system works. At first I felt insulted, like, what do you mean you don't explain it? That's one of the most crucial parts of a shonen anime is the power system. And then I realized, I've been so conditioned by everything else with the same narration explaining to me that in this power system, there are summoners, spellcasters, and energy manipulation. By channeling the supernatural power of the soul or chakra, it's all the same shit, just a different flavor. And that's when it really clicked. Not only did they cook with one of the coolest power systems I've ever seen in blood manipulation, but they said, I'm not explaining it to you like you're some thumb-sucking rock eater. I know you're not an idiot. I'm not going to say what's obvious. You can just figure it out by watching it in real time. And I said, oh my god. No. Slow down. They're just having fun out there. They're like the 2017 Warriors. The rest of these anime are still using leaves and tree bark to wipe their asses, and Kekkaisensen has already invented the bidet. That's the difference in immersion you get with this show. From the storytelling to the setting to this anime's tendency to break all the rules of a typical battle shonen, it's a very wild show. And that is where Libra comes in. Somebody has to maintain the balance. Somebody has to stop the vampires, ghouls, gangsters, and supervillains. Somebody has to stop all hell from breaking loose. And that is Libra, an organization of superpowered humans that use blood battle techniques to fight evil. That is a simple description, but their methods are much more imaginative. This guy was part of a freak experiment that turned him into a half super demon, half normal guy, and now he's sorta like Venom. He can swap from human to symbiote whenever he wants. Wow, that's cool as shit. This guy's like Frozone, everything he walks on turns to ice. Wow, that's also cool as shit. This guy was cursed by a vampire he killed so that he will never die, but unlucky events constantly follow him everywhere to destroy the people around him and make his life as miserable as possible. Wow, that's kind of brilliant. The whole organization of Libra is like this. They're all cool as hell. They didn't miss once. Every anime has at least one important character where you say, man, not this bitch again. Sometimes it's the main character, but Libra went 13 for 13. All of them are sick. And it's not like a lot of shows where you know the good guys are gonna win. No, a lot of the episodes, they get their asses handed to them. There are only 13 members in this organization, and they have to stop everything that resides in the underworld. Each episode, I think, how in God's green earth are they gonna pull this one out? And then through some insane strategy, teamwork, and grit, they figure it out. And that's the kind of shit I'm looking for in an anime. Not ass pulls, or the power of friendship, actual hard-earned victories. And some episodes, they just straight up lose. And if they lose, the whole world kind of explodes. So yeah, this show gets crazy. But you know what else is crazy about this show? The soundtrack. They got jazz, they got hip-hop, they got hip-hop mixed with jazz, and they got these long inspirational instrumentals that just make you want to take on the world. And the outro where all of the characters are dancing like they were just in a play. This show has so much personality, but it also has racism. Yes, it is indeed a little racist, but so is every anime. I mean, Fire Force is just blatant. There are like 2 black guys in the whole show. One of them is named a gorilla. The other guy plays basketball and has tattoos. At that rate, just make him drink chicken-flavored Kool-Aid. Kekkaisensen is equally as stereotypical. The first instance is this.
It was in the White House, monkey.
And then she does it again.
I just felt a chill.
Perfect timing. Maybe you'll catch pneumonia and die from it.
You want to say that a second time, she bitch?
Shut up and die, turd monkey.
Enough already.
And again.
Hey! I'm sick of your ass appearing on top of my
You were just
head!
giving a lecture about resolve. But look at you. You can't even stand on your own 2 feet. You dumb monkey.
Not when you're on...
Like at that point, you've proven yourself. But no, they had to take it one step further. You see, there's this nobody character who only appears in 1 episode. And something about those lips, man. Nobody else in the show has lips like that. You just had to make them big and voluptuous, didn't you? There's no reason for that unless you were trying to make a point. But at the end of the day, every anime is racist. But that is not the only problem with this show. This anime can be rather cheesy at times. At the end of season 1, it's pretty damn cheesy. You're just gonna have to have faith in me. I will never lead you astray, little bro. This show is worth the watch. Despite the cheese and the racism, 8.5 out of 10. And that's on the chicken nuggets in my freezer, so you know I got something to lose.